Scene script. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning around the sun? Picture this. Our planet, the one we call home, suddenly halts its merry dance around the sun. The Earth's rotation isn't just a celestial ballet but a vital cog in the mechanics of our existence. This rotation creates our days and nights, influences our weather patterns, and even guides the migration of animals. It's not an understatement to say that our very lives are in sync with this celestial pirouette. But what if, in an instant, all of it came to a grinding halt? What if the Earth, like a top that's lost its spin, stopped its rotation around the sun? This isn't just a wild flight of fancy. It's a hypothetical scenario that helps us understand our planet better and appreciate the delicate balance that allows us to exist. Now, let's delve into the consequences of such a cataclysmic event. Imagine half of the Earth shrouded in perpetual darkness. A chilling thought, isn't it? Yet it's a scenario we have to consider if our planet ever stopped its celestial dance with the sun. This constant spinning, this celestial waltz we're performing, it's what gives us our days and nights, it's what keeps our planet from becoming a world of extremes. But what if it stopped? What if, one day, the music just ended? The concept of perpetual night is a stark one. It conjures images of a world frozen in time, a landscape devoid of the warmth and life-giving energy of the sun. And in reality, that's precisely what we'd face. With no sunlight to warm it, the dark side of the Earth would see temperatures plummet. It's not just a matter of needing an extra blanket at night or cranking up the heater. We're talking about a drop in temperature so severe that it could potentially freeze the atmosphere itself. Imagine stepping outside and feeling the chill of the air, colder than anything you've ever experienced. The very air you breathe could become a frigid mist, a surreal spectacle of nature's raw power and indifference. And it doesn't stop there. The lack of sunlight would also mean no photosynthesis. Plants, the very foundation of most life on Earth, would wither and die in this endless night. This isn't just a cold, dark world we're picturing, it's a lifeless one. It's a silent testament to the power of the sun, a power we often take for granted. But remember, this is a hypothetical scenario. It's a thought experiment designed to help us appreciate the delicate balance that exists in our world. It's a reminder of the intricate dance that Earth and the sun perform every single day, a dance that sustains life as we know it. So, with no sunlight, one half of the Earth would become a frozen wasteland. A chilling thought indeed, but remember, it's just a thought. For now, our planet continues its dance, and we can only hope it never misses a beat. On the flip side, the other half of the Earth would be in permanent daylight. Picture this: an eternal day, with the sun never setting, its rays constantly beating down. Now that might sound like paradise to some, especially those of us who love to bask in the sunshine. But let's delve a bit deeper into this scenario. This constant exposure to sunlight would bring about an intense heat and radiation. The Earth's surface would heat up considerably, leading to extreme temperatures unlike anything we've ever experienced. Imagine stepping out into what feels like an oven, with the heat so intense it's almost palpable. That's what it would be like on this sunlit half of the Earth. But it's not just the heat we'd have to contend with. The constant, unfiltered radiation would pose a significant risk. Without the respite of night, the Earth's surface would be continually bombarded with the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. This could lead to increased rates of skin cancer and other health problems for any life that managed to survive the heat. Furthermore, the relentless sunlight would cause the land to become arid and dry. Water sources would evaporate, leaving behind a parched landscape. Vegetation would wither and die, unable to withstand the extreme conditions. Over time, this half of the Earth would transform into a barren wasteland, devoid of the lush green landscapes we're accustomed to. The intensity of the heat, the unrelenting radiation, and the lack of water would render this side of the Earth largely uninhabitable. Life as we know it would be impossible under such harsh conditions. Even the most heat-tolerant organisms would struggle to survive in this unforgiving environment. So, while the prospect of endless summer days might initially seem appealing, the reality would be far from idyllic. The relentless sunlight would create a harsh, inhospitable world, a far cry from the diverse and vibrant Earth we know and love. Thus, the other half of the Earth would become a scorching desert. But what about our oceans and atmosphere? Well, let's dive right into it. Picture Earth as a spinning top. The force of that spin is what drives our ocean currents and wind patterns. This rotation, this seemingly insignificant pirouette, is responsible for the Gulf Stream and the jet stream, for El Niño and the trade winds. It's why we have predictable weather patterns and why London isn't as cold as Winnipeg despite being on the same latitude. Now imagine if that top stopped spinning. Without the Earth's rotation, the Coriolis effect, which is the deflection of wind and water due to Earth's rotation, would cease to exist. This would result in a complete overhaul of our climate as we know it. The wind patterns would change, the ocean's currents would alter, and our weather would become unpredictable, leading to extreme weather patterns. These changes would not only affect the weather, but they'd also have a significant impact on the oceanic life. The ocean currents play a vital role in distributing heat and nutrients around the globe. They're like an underwater conveyor belt, ferrying warm water and precipitation from the equator towards the poles, and cold, nutrient-rich water from the deep sea towards the surface. Without the currents, the warm water would stay around the equator, causing the polar regions to become freezing, and the equatorial regions to become unbearably hot. The nutrient-rich water would stay at the bottom of the ocean, leading to a loss of oceanic life due to a lack of food. In the grand scheme of things, the Earth's rotation is like the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring that everything works in harmony. It's the thread that holds the fabric of our planet together. And without it, our weather systems, our ocean currents, and essentially all life as we know it, would be thrown into disarray. For without the spin, there's no dance. Without rotation, our oceans and atmosphere would be in chaos. What would happen to life on Earth under these conditions? Imagine the Earth, this vibrant, teeming sphere of life, suddenly plunged into a world of extreme opposites. On one side, an eternal, unforgiving cold darkness. On the other, a relentless, blistering light. This isn't some dystopian science fiction novel, but a very real, albeit hypothetical scenario of our planet ceasing its celestial dance around the sun. In this new world, life as we know it would be upended. Most life forms, both flora and fauna, would likely face extinction. The extreme temperatures would make survival virtually impossible for many species. Plants, which rely on sunlight for photosynthesis, would struggle on the dark side. Animals, dependent on these plants and other animals for sustenance, would follow suit. On the light side, the relentless heat would make conditions equally inhospitable. Water would evaporate at a rapid pace, leading to severe droughts. The lack of water and extreme temperatures would make survival for most life forms a Sisyphean struggle. However, life is nothing if not resilient. The extremophiles, organisms that thrive under extreme conditions, may emerge as the potential survivors. Deep in the ocean's depths, where sunlight doesn't reach, life has found a way around darkness and cold. Similarly, in the scorching hot springs, life has adapted to intense heat. In this new world, these extremophiles might become the dominant life forms. They could potentially pave the way for life to adapt and evolve to survive under these harsh conditions. Evolution, after all, is the story of life's struggle against and adaptation to change. But let's not forget, this adaptability and resilience comes with a significant caveat. This evolution would take millions, potentially billions of years. In the short term, the sudden halt of Earth's orbit would spell catastrophe for life as we know it. Life as we know it would be drastically different if it survived at all. So what have we learned from this hypothetical scenario? We've journeyed through a world where the Earth ceases to spin around the sun, a scenario that dramatically reshapes our understanding of life as we know it. We've explored the perpetual darkness that would engulf one side of the Earth, and the eternal daylight that would scorch the other. We've delved into the profound effects on our oceans and atmosphere, where tides would become extreme and air currents chaotic. We've also considered the devastating impact on life, with conditions becoming increasingly hostile for survival. This journey underscores the fundamental importance of Earth's rotation around the sun. It's a delicate cosmic ballet that sustains life, drives our climate, and gives us our familiar day-night cycle. So while the idea is fascinating, the reality would be far from pleasant. While it's intriguing to imagine, let's hope Earth never stops its dance around